Well, I'm gonna take you to one of my favorite cities to hang out lately. Good old Houston.
Man.
And we had this team that we used to talk about this team, Big Ragu, when they had my man Les Miles over there, Kansas. But
Kansas,
Les
yeah,
Miles he didn't moved on. We got what's his Lance Leploid over there now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been doing a great job. I was up on this team early in the season and I let it pass me by, and they've been right on point doing what they need to do. They're 2-0 ATS. They're 2-0 overall. They've already put in an upset. They're going into Houston, playing a Houston team who's had some tough games lately that struggled down to the end when they opened up against, I believe, UTEP. Or was that UTEP the first week?
Yeah, overtime, UTEP.
Yeah, it was overtime.
No, not UTSA.
UTSA, yeah, UTSA. Yeah. They opened up against UTSA, and that game was close. Then they go to Texas Tech and lose to Texas Tech. And I really have high hopes for this Houston team, and I like them. But this Kansas team from the beginning of the season was supposed to be a sneaky team to watch, and they're doing exactly what they say they're about. And like I said, they already put in an upset to West Virginia. West Virginia is not the greatest team, but they usually have really, really solid defense. And they took them all the way to overtime. Now, this low key, because of the points they scored, and that rankings are usually based on points scored, they are ranked number one on offense at Kansas right now. So I think while we know they can put up some points against the Houston team who's been giving up points, going into overtime, high scoring game versus Texas Tech. So the defenses on both teams kind of roll, but this Kansas team and the quarterback over there, Jay Daniels, they've been doing really well. Jay Daniels has a 73% quarterback rating, 2 TDs, rushing, 5 TDs, only 1 interception. He's doing a great job over there, which is, Houston's more like pro style, kind of do what they do. They're going to be experiencing a really hot player right here that can run the board up by himself. So once again, I'm going to take those points, and this is kind of following a trend right here, which I stamp, and I'm expecting better out of Kansas this year. I mean, even when they had Les Miles, the sun shined on the dog ass sometime. But in this spot right here, I'm going to take those 9 points against a Houston team that, they could be top 5-ish, but I don't think they're going to be number 1 or number 2 this year. I think the offense is moving a lot better than it was. I say they recovered from Derek King when he came out and was supposed to be their quarterback and had all this, and then he sat down and waited to go to Miami. So I think they recovered from that. They got players out there that could get loose and do some things, but this Kansas team offense, and it's just going to be a little bit too much for them at the end of the day. This is like a Big 12 versus American League matchup. So Kansas is supposed to be, even though they're a lower tier of the Big 12, they're supposed to be the better talented team that play the better quality teams. So I think giving 9 is a little disrespectful. So give me those 9 with Kansas.
Yeah, the 9 sounds pretty good to have in your pocket. And no argument. I mean, you made all valid points with back in Kansas. They're 5-0 the last 5 ATS. They've been in overs like the last 4 out of the 5. But the thing was, even so, they're 4-16 straight up. That means they have some covers in there. You know what I mean? So they're not winning games, but they're covering games, which is a good look. And the same thing with Houston. Houston, they split their games, but they don't have any. They don't have the covers. You know what I mean? So I think they're 0-2 ATS. But I mean, Hogerson, when he came over from West Virginia, he envisioned his offense, his schemes, bringing them over there, and then, with all the quarterback controversies and stuff he had going on there, with the injuries and departures and whatnot. So he had his son quarterback in that one year. But Clayton Tune, I think, he's very serviceable for what he wants to do over there. His numbers are pretty decent. He's got decent running backs. I have to give the edge of defense here to Houston. Does that equate to a cover? Not necessarily, but I think they're the better team, more talented, more rounded team. But I think Kansas has got the potential to cover the number, with the offense that they have there. So, I mean, we seen it last week with Texas Tech, even though they didn't get the W. The Texas Tech, I think, had a little bit better defense, and that's what kind of gave them the game. And when you go to overtime, it's like a crapshoot, especially in college, when you're lining up at both ends of the end zone. So I like that look. I like getting the points here. I mean, I'm not going to probably bet it, but you won't get an argument out of it. I think my initial look was to the over 2, but I don't even know what's the total on this game. Do you have that in front of you?
I have it right there, 57.5. I lean over on this one as well.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't see much defense on either side, so I like the over 2.
Yeah, I would lean over, but I like Kansas getting the points because they can score, and Houston's defense, they're decent, but I think they can be had for some points. Obviously, we've seen them with UTSA and we've seen it with Texas Tech, so makes a lot of sense.